Hi, parents. My name's Patty McGinnis, and I'm sorry I'm not with you tonight. I'm actually at a science teachers conference in Richmond, Virginia, and I'm hoping to come back on Monday with lots of really fun things to do with your kids. I just want you to know how much I'm enjoying teaching your children. They are delightful. We have a lot of science kids this year, and so they've created this fourth honors science class. I'm actually teaching on off of a cart. I don't have my own science classroom. We're in a shared environment with the health teachers. And your students have just been amazing when it comes to cleaning up. When I ask them to clean up their stations, they put everything away. Tables are wiped down. There's never any trash. So when that health teacher and those kids come in right when we're leaving, the room is pristine. It's in better shape than it was when we came in. So thank you so much for sending me such just delightful kids. This year in science is it's a foundation year of chemistry and physics, so it's just very introductory topics. This is quite an adventure for me. It's been a while since I taught physics and chemistry. I'm actually a biology teacher, so I taught 15 years here as a 7th grade science teacher. And before that, I was teaching at the high school level in Virginia as a biology and earth science teacher. But I am enjoying relearning those concepts and trying things in labs that I hadn't done with students before. So it's been a lot of fun. In terms of teaching, my teaching philosophy, I want your kids to learn it's mastery. I want them to really master the concepts. And I also want them to be able to understand their understanding of science concepts. So I'm doing things a little bit differently than I did when I taught 7th grade science. First of all, I'm not collecting a lot of homework because to me homework is when they're supposed to be practicing. So I want them to practice, but I don't want to dock them points if they don't get something. What is tested, of course, is their tests. They have the option of retesting if they wish to. So if they did not do as well as they wanted to do, they have to put a plan together for me, and they have to tell me what they're going to do differently to learn the material, and then they can retest. The other thing that's happening in here is they're doing a lot of writing. So I think the act of writing helps to make those concepts clearer for them. And scientists have to read and write as well as work in the lab. So the kids are making a lot of claims-based evidence, and then that leads to creating their science explanations. It's tough work. It's something they have not had to do before. So we're doing a lot of modeling with that. We're doing a lot of work in class with that, and they're starting to catch on. So it is a work in progress. I'm excited to see what's going to happen over the year as the year progresses to see how they grow in that respect. The other things I'd like to talk to you about is my other parts of my philosophy is that I'm very much into authentic learning and inquiry experiences. I want the kids to have a lot of hands-on experiences. I don't believe in a lot of cookbook labs. I want there to be an element of mystery where they have to figure something out. So if you look around the room, you can see the Cartesian divers that they worked with a couple weeks ago. They were tasked with trying to figure out how to make that diver go up and down in the soda bottle. And there were some frustrated kids here for a while, which is a good thing. They had to work their way through those frustrations and through those little failures to become successful. And let me tell you, when they finally got that to work, boy, were they proud of themselves. So going through that, it was really fun for me to watch them go through that process of, oh, what are we supposed to do here? And how do we do it? And just trial and error. Which is, of course, what scientists and engineers do. So it was fun for me, like I said, to watch that process and then to watch that big aha when they got it. So I think they had a lot of fun with that. I actually had kids that were taking those bottles back and forth almost every night. So I know that they enjoyed that. So I hope to be doing a lot of that type of work in here. The other thing I like to do with the kids is I like to make sure that what they're learning is grounded to authentic experiences. So I had the Mr. Mahan, who's the tech ed teacher in here the other week. He was talking about scuba diving and how that relates to Boyle's Law. And then next week, of course, we're going on a field trip to test for different water samples to see what the different chemical composition is of water. And we'll be meeting 3 different biologists so they can kind of see what the type of work is that people do with the science that they're learning in class. So that connection then of what they learn in class with how it works is related to real life is an important connection to make, and that's what I'm trying to do this year as well. You probably know that your child is participating in, or they're creating a science project, which hopefully they will enter into the science fair. Entering is not mandatory. However, if they choose to enter the science fair, they do get 5 percentage points. I really believe in this process. I've been involved with the science fair as a sponsor for many, many years now. And if we don't give them that opportunity of exploring on their own, they're never going to learn. So I know that it's a really open-ended project. It's a lot of work, but that's because I believe in it so much. I'm giving up every Friday. We are working on that. I broke the process down into, I think, about 12 different steps. Every week something else is due. So they're getting a lot of support with that. My hope is that they don't have to spend a lot of time at home working on this. I am giving them quite a bit of class time to do this. There will be some times they're going to have to work on it at home, but the majority of it is going to be done here at school. If they choose to enter the fair, they are given the choice of whether or not they want to be on the team if they win. I would highly recommend that they check that box, because we usually have a team of 24 kids. They go on to several other competitions. The growth that I see is phenomenal. So they gain public speaking experience, they gain self-confidence, they have a lot of fun, and they gain a passion for science. A lot of the kids, it's a real turning point for them. So I highly suggest that if you can encourage them to check that box, that if their project wins, they would like to be part of the team. That would be wonderful. Of course, if they're way too busy to do that, make that commitment, then check the other box that no, I don't want to participate. So that's how the science fair is working. You've probably also heard that this is a flipped classroom. A flipped classroom is where you do the traditional lecture is done at home. So the traditional work that you would see in a classroom is flipped and becomes homework. And then whatever would have been homework normally is done in class. So what that does is it allows me to introduce the concept at home, either through a video that I create or a video that I pull off the web, because there's a lot of teachers that are doing this kind of thing, and they've been doing it a little bit longer than I have, so there's a lot of good videos out there already. Then in class, we're able to spend more time on those higher level critical thinking skills. So maybe problems they're having with some of maybe the assigned homework. We can spend more time with those writing activities I talked about, which are difficult activities. We can certainly spend more time on lab work, which of course they love to do. So those are all higher level thinking skills that I can be there then to support them through that. It's been a little bit of a challenge just with some kids, because some kids don't understand that watching the video is homework, and that is something they should be doing to prepare for. So I think as the year progresses that they'll all find their rhythm with this, but it's been a bit of a challenge, because this is a huge paradigm shift, not just for my teaching style, but for their learning style. But they're bright kids, they're motivated, so they're doing very, very well. And I think they're going to really enjoy learning via the flipped classroom. But I guess my message to you is that if your child is experiencing any kind of undue stress as a result of science, please let me know. We're on the same team. I want them to have a great year. I want this to be a fantastic time for them. And I want to work with you to make sure that happens. I do think, however, it's appropriate to have a little bit of stress. A little bit of stress, academic tension, is a good thing, because working through those stressful times helps to build them. It will help to build their determination. It will help them realize that's working through things as part of life. But like I said, you know their level. So if there's too much stress, I need to work on that. You need to let me know so that I can alleviate some of that for them. So I want there, as I said, to be some academic tension, but not academic frustration. The last thing I want to mention to you is the high school courses. In order to qualify for the 9th grade honors biology class, which is what a lot of them want to take, they need a 93% average in this course for the year to do that. And then if they don't do that, they can qualify for the honors earth science class, and you need an 85% to qualify for that course. They're actually making their course selections in January, so that's not all that far away. If you have any questions about anything I've said tonight, or the course in general, or there's a concern about your child, please just email me, call me. I'm very, very responsive. What I'd like to do right now is take you on a really quick tour of our website so you can kind of see what the flipped classroom looks like. Thank you for coming tonight, and I hope at some point to meet you in person. Good night. Hi, welcome back. I'm going to talk to you really quickly about Flipped Classroom because I think I have like 1 minute left. This is our Moodle website. It's kind of a busy site, so I'm looking for some other places to host things. But basically, it's our classroom. It's a private classroom if you want to join. The password is Enterprise, all lowercase. So as you come up into the classroom, you're greeted with the Starfleet bulletin board, the special mission, which is our science fair project, of course. What I've done is I've culled things from the web that I thought would be helpful for the kids, and then they're all under one umbrella. And then moving on down, we have our first unit. You can kind of see how busy this is, and so, like I said, I'm trying to find another way to do this for the kids. So I've gone to this, where it's a weekly or bi-weekly calendar of what's going on, and I've called it a pacing guide. So if you click on that, it takes you to a web document that has their suggested homework, their learning goals, the resources, and their written assignments. And again, I'm not currently collecting homework every night. I want them to learn how to budget their time. What I did do for them is I broke down what they should do every night. So if they're really busy and they can't get to it on a particular night, they could double up the next night. So most of the kids are actually doing really well at this. There's a couple that have expressed that they want me to collect homework every night, but I'm waiting. If that is really an issue, I will start to do that with those kids, but I want them to take more ownership with their own learning and to budget their time a little better. So really fast, I'm going to take you to a site called Sophia. This is a site where I'm putting a lot of the worksheets, the videos. The videos, by the way, have embedded quizzes. And within this site, I can see who got online, how much time they spent reviewing, how well they did on the quiz. It's just a wealth of information. So I'm hoping that this site actually is something that they are able to use a little bit better than the Moodle site, and most of them have said it has been a little bit easier for them to navigate. So if you have any questions, just like I said, send me an email. I can provide the links for you, although I think they are on my teacher website. So have a great night tonight.